I remember in, like I say, it must have been like 2013, 2014. I am really good friends with a guy called John Cooper. So shout out to John anyway. But so he had this concept of being called a social heartist. So unlike what the pickup industry was, here was a guy who was teaching people about how to be more altruistic. Like rather than trying to take from people, why not give to people and feel so much more fulfilled in life? And I really always loved John's mindset and the beliefs that he held so highly about himself and how he supported other people. I thought it was absolutely phenomenal. In fact, I might have to try and get him on my channel actually as well. It'd be a great person to interview. And John and I became friends anyway. We'd met at an event that I was filming at on a regular basis, and he invited me to a Barcelona boot camp thing that he was doing, or I think it was probably more called a residential, but he invited me along to it to teach me this social heartistry skill that he was teaching other guys. And on one of the occasions, or as one of the exercises, we went into, I think, one of the old cathedrals in Barcelona. Don't quote me what it is, what it's called, but he wanted, just as an exercise, to for us to think about how grateful we are for our lives. And he got us a candle each and things, and we got to light it. And he said, like, just sit there in silence, and I want you to think about all of the things that you are grateful for in your life, and then we'll discuss it afterwards. And I sat there and I remember thinking, like, I don't know what I'm grateful for. I've really no idea. I've had a really shitty life. Like, I had a lot of personal problems growing up. I had a lot of social anxiety. I was bullied, and, you know, I didn't really have much support from people, and I felt very alone and stuff. And, you know, I kind of like had given a list to myself of like all of the things that I felt that I had a problem with, or I listed all of the negative things that I could literally think of that have happened in my entire life. And towards the end of the exercise, it sort of like hit me, like, maybe those are things to be grateful for. And I sort of thought, like, well, let's just explore that thought that's just popped into my mind here, that I'm grateful for all of the bad things that have happened to me, as well as the handful of good things that have happened to me. Why do I feel that is something to be grateful for? And just instantly, this kind of voice inside, that kind of like in a dialogue that we've got, a bit like if you're watching like Scrubs and JD's there, and then he has that like narrative voice that speaks to him. And I just sort of thought to myself, like, you are who you are today because of those bad experiences. It shaped you to be a good person. And even on top of that, it's also made you more aware of the things that you can work on, so you can be an even better and good person. And I got really emotional in that moment as well, when that epiphany just sort of came about, that, you know what, it is okay that I've had all these bad experiences, that everyone has bad experiences. There's nothing wrong with that. And however much it might feel that there are people out there who are experiencing such perfection, like what you see now on social media of people putting photos and posts out of them traveling the world or meeting people or living some kind of like luxury life, it made me kind of think that, you know what, everyone has had bad experiences. Everyone's got traumas. Everyone's got anxieties and fears, or they're scared of something that, you know, holds them back or limits them in life in some way. And it humbles you. It really does humble you when you recognize that. that even if you're someone right now who has anxiety, you have fears, maybe you have never had a girlfriend, maybe you've never even had your first kiss, maybe there's someone that you really like and you don't know how to speak to them, or maybe you're someone who's just not confident, but you surround yourself with women, but you always get put in the friend zone and you just don't know how to get yourself out of it. And because of that, maybe you feel even more guilty, the fact that you are missing out on opportunities and the love of your life is, being swept off of her feet and, being wooed by some other guy. Just know that it's okay, that you can be better if you work hard at it. You can learn what to do differently. You can learn to recognize your mistakes, but most importantly, though, to appreciate them. Don't judge them. Don't think like, oh, well, I've made all the wrong mistakes in my life, so, that's it. You can change whenever you want. And it's just, again, so important to just recognize those errors or traumas or bad or negative experiences that you've had and see them for what they are, that they have helped you to become the person that you are today, and that you have that control and accountability to decide what you want to do next. So if you've had whatever experiences, good or bad, decide what you want to do next. If you're not happy with your dating life where you're at, do something about it. And be grateful for all of the bad dates that you've went on, or the I don't know, or like the situations that have played out and you're like, damn, I wish that had gone differently. Don't feel bad about it if you've fucked up. Like, be okay with it. But learn from your mistakes and try to be better. Try and do stuff differently. And this statement is going to still be very abstract and subjective because, everyone's had very different experiences and everyone's got different anxieties and traumas. So I'm trying to keep this broad because I want this to hopefully relate to everyone. But again, just know that it is really good that you've had good and bad experiences because it's made you who you are today. And if you can recognize where you're at in life and decide where you want to be in the future, you can either try and start reverse engineering what do you need to do to become this person who is going to make you happy, or at the very least you can be planning and deciding what things do I want to try and achieve in my life that is going to make me a better person. So I really do hope that in some way or another you can actually resonate with this message. And, for me, all those years ago, again, just come into that epiphany of that I am so grateful for all the good and bad things that have happened to me in my life, that it kind of took me down that rabbit hole of self-development, that it had me drawn into the world of the dating industry and working in it behind the scenes, and then learning the skills and qualifications of being able to help and take care of others, as well as, in a way, I've also been in situations where if I probably wasn't around, there probably wouldn't be people alive today. Not to toot my own horn, but I know that there were people that had no support, and had I not been there to be sympathetic and understanding of the troubles that they were going through, they may not have been alive. So consider again where you're at in life and know that you can be better. If you work hard towards it, you can be the person that you want to be. And that then all of these bad experiences that you've had, you'll look back at them and go, you know what? I am grateful for them because it led me down this particular path to be someone who I've always wanted to be. So my name is Dan, that dating anxiety guy. And again, I really hope that this message does resonate with you. And I really hope, though, that you do subscribe to the channel and like this video, in the hopes that maybe more content that I do create is also going to give you some inspiration or just encourage you to take more responsibility and accountability in your life so you can be happy. Because I genuinely do believe that you deserve the best kind of happiness in the world. If you want to have a relationship, work at it. Don't feel like all of these bad dates or, bad relationships maybe that you've had in the past with whoever is going to tell you that, oh, you're a bad person. No, do something about it. And I can assure you, give it time and some patience, you will ultimately get there too. So thank you very much for watching. Subscribe if you can. And please do look out for more videos that I really do hope genuinely does inspire you to take action.